Okay, so just a quick walkthrough on the Toshiba heat pump remote control settings that are available, at least on my model. They might be very identical on your model as well. This is how the remote looks on my particular model. And what do we have? Yeah, it's pretty standard on the back. But yeah, here's what it looks like on the front. If we open it up here, we have some advanced settings. What I usually do on my unit is that I set it to the heat mode. And how you set the remote to heat is just by pressing mode until you get the sun icon up there. At least during the winter time, this is the mode that I am using. And what that mode does is that the heat pump only operates as a heating unit. And yeah, but yeah, we have here a preset button that I never use for if you have a specific setting you want to save, you can use a preset function. This is for turning on and off the heat pump. I never use that. Temperature up and down. These buttons I frequently use. And if we go down here, we can see that there's the mode switch button that I talked about before. I rarely use that. Here we have a swing button. If you press that, that means that the fins on the heat pump will go from side to side. I really never use that either, but it depends what environment your heat pump is placed in and what direction you want the air to flow. In my case, the heat pump is just set to point straight forward because I have a long haul path that I want the heat pump to reach for. So all the time my heat pump just points straight forward. If you press the fan button, I can just try and do it as well. Right now the fan mode is set to auto. If you press it, you get different fan speeds from low to maximum. This is the highest setting. And it also has a quiet mode. If you press it again, it falls back to the auto mode, which I use all the time because I like that the heat pump is able to by itself judge on whether to use a high fan power or not. This is an 8-degree mode. I believe this button is for maintaining a minimum temperature in a building that you are not physically being in, but you want it to stay at a minimum temperature. We have the echo mode. I never use that, but it's supposed to be like a power saving feature. We have the high power button that I'm actually using right now because it's supposed to turn up the heat by 2 degrees and the fan speed by 1. That may vary depending on what model you have, but as far as I can understand, if you select high power, and you choose like 24 degrees, it will actually aim for a higher degree than before with this 24 degree setting. You can try it out, using it or not using it. At the end of the day, the number you pick here will, well, it will be a temperature measured locally by the heat pump. So the real room temperature will, how do you say, will be determined by if you have an external temperature unit that can measure instead of the heat pump itself. And then you can see if the high power mode is giving a more like close, how do you say, a closer value from what you set here to what room temperature you actually get. So if you turn this off, it will perform lower on the same Celsius setting. So yeah, and turning it on, it will produce more noise and more heat as well. Then there's the pure function. I have currently set that to on. That is the icon you see here, there. And that will give you, I think it's called a plasma something feature that can make the air more clean, I suppose. I haven't really put much thought into that. I just enabled it and that's it. Comfort sleep, I never use that mode really, but it's as far as I can understand, it helps, or it's a mode that makes the heat pump quieter, but also less able to produce heat. Yeah, the power select is right up here. That function can be useful if you have the heat pump installed in a place where you cannot utilize the full power potential because you might have other stuff in your house that also needs power, and the total power delivery in your home cannot live up to the maximum power here. So by pressing the power select, you can turn this up or down. I think it's from 25% up to 100%. And this, I have never used that. Can be useful in some scenarios. You can make settings for the week. If you want the heat pump to be warmer during the day and cooler and quieter during the night, you can set it up via these buttons. So yeah, it really depends on what situation you're in, how big your home is, where the heat pump is mounted. Are you sleeping in the room that it is mounted, or is it in a living room, etc., etc.? Is it a small home or a big home? So yeah, that was just my 2 cents on the Toshiba heat pump remote. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.